Wow. Okay, can you hear me, Maddie? Hooray. Not Maddie, but I hear you. Hi, Seventh. Oh, yeah, had some issues with OBS when, before I started the stream, actually. Because I don't know what it was, but for some reason, OBS decided to open itself like 40 times in a row and continue opening itself. And then when I restarted my computer and it stopped doing that. But apparently it defaulted to the capture card's microphone instead of this one. The more you know. But yeah, what I was saying when I first started the stream, and also Seventh Force, how are you doing on this lovely Tuesday evening? But what I was saying when I started the stream, but when my mic wasn't picking up my yapping, um, I ended up starting the stream much later than I intended to, because a certain fuzzball, every time I would go to try to start the stream, she would decide to jump on me and would not let me do anything. Until I sat down and petted her, and she is already back on my lap. It's okay, Maddie. I'll forgive you this time. Yeah, we are going to level up Mellow Cream, and when we are going... She's a girl who knows what she wants. I'm not even sure what she's doing right now, because, okay, she is half on the table and half on my chest. And she looks like she's trying to get comfortable. I'm like, how is this possibly comfortable, girl? I guess she knows what she wants. Okay. You're gonna find that big pupper that's actually a lion. LD, hi! It is always lovely to see you in chat. How are you doing today? I hope you've been having a lovely Tuesday. I don't know why the E. Maddie E. Also, after 5 minutes of being in the weird planking pose halfway across the table and halfway across my knee, she just got up and decided to go do other stuff. Having a better day today. Didn't get out of bed for like 2 weeks. So, well, I'm so glad you're doing better at least. Like I said, no matter what, I'm always cheering you on. I know it can be difficult, especially when neurodivergency and health problems and depressions all collide into one nice, fancy little ball. Because, like, Justin, I had a hard time getting motivated today, too. Like, weeks of just not being able to sleep well have really kind of collapsed in on me a little bit. And it's not even, like, depression or anything weird happening. It's just not sleeping well. Okay, so you are still south of Violet. Happy Green Day, by the way. Something Boulevard of Broken Dreams? Haven't been sleeping well either. Hope it gets better for you soon. I mean, it was a little better today. I got some naps. But don't worry, guys. I have my green panties on. I'm kidding. I'm not wearing any underwear right now. Okay, let's see if Daddy Entei is still anywhere nearby. You whore. I ate everything green we owned in the house. For a minute there, I'm like, I can't think of any green food. Aside from, like, you know, like, oh yeah, vegetables. Those exist. You know what I haven't had in a really long time? Corn on the cob. Food? Where you just like cook up some corn on the cob and then you just roll it in some fucking butter and it's just like nom 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 nom. Vegetables? Vegetables aren't real. Yeah, they are. Have you not ever heard of the game Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom? You think I'm making that up, but go Google it. Tomato fruit? Well, yeah, she's Princess Tomato, so she's not a vegetable. But everyone in the Salad Kingdom is. She's not from the Salad Kingdom. It's a point-and-click adventure. Whenever I spend the night at any friend's house, their cat always curls up on the side of my chest, and I like to lay on my side. Coaltail's got that powerful chest everybody wants to snuggle on. But hi, Cole, how are you doing on this lovely Tuesday evening? We're hunting for our dad, I mean Entei, seeing if he ever comes back from the grocery store with some milk. I wanna find out who killed my dad. I love me some good Hiroyuki Sawano background songs that are literally just explaining what's going on in the plot. And also, look, Coaltail's changed his, his color of his, name in chat. Just in time for St. Patrick's Day. Okay, jokes aside, thank you all for not trying to, like, do something like that and change all your chat colors, because my dyslexic ex could not take that. Entei named Marlboro for no particular reason. Dex check. I'll be green enough for all of you. Okay. Because here's the thing, like, they'll keep moving around pretty close to their previous locations if you just walk from area to area, but if you fly, it'll actually just completely randomize their location again. Alright, everybody grab your favorite sugar-free, caffeine-free beverage of choice. I got my water tumbler right here. And take a nice big sippy. Maybe the real green was the friends we made along the way. I mean, maybe we're all green, but your dyslexia is actually saving you. That's not how dyslexia works, Maddie. An expert, a dyslexpert. I like how, because, okay, in my activity feed thing on OBS, it shows me, like, the last few, in X-Squirt. Vine Boom, The Rock Eyebrow. But my last 5 redeems have all been Hydrate. This has a little activity feed beside the chat thing in OBS. You're gonna drown. Waterboarding the mouse. Dork thinks he's gonna drown. Is an excerpt from an expert. Cole's starting some bars over here. Okay, everyone, time to text your ex? No. Okay, hopefully the hundreds of balls I have from Kurt will be enough if I ever can actually get in the same place as Entei. Why would you do this? Okay, well, while I'm waiting for Entei to behave himself, I'm going to go down to Goldenrod and get my precious little Chansey a haircut. And we'll go ahead and grab the Ice Berry. Joke's on you, my ex is my D&D DM, we're on good terms. Well, I'm glad you're on good terms. It's always good to have a dungeon master that may or may not have seen you naked. My nightshade! Get licked. Okay, everyone, time to text Cole's ex. I mean, I guess if we were gonna play D&D, we could. I haven't spoken to any of mine in a couple of years. I mean, like, I don't even know if I would call some of the people I've been with exes, because I just gotten used a lot. Like, it wasn't even relationships most of the time. I kind of thought it was gonna be, but it wasn't. One of mine's married with kids, so that's cool for me to know. That's a little dizzying to think about. I mean, especially since, like, I'm pretty sure the exes that you've mentioned to me, Maddie, were both around your age, so they were, like, in their 20s with a kid already? I guess that's not that uncommon, but it feels really young to me. Like, I sure as hell couldn't imagine myself at, like, 24, 25, 26, raising a kid. She had her first kids in the early 2020s? Yikes. Mom had my brother at, like, 19. I mean, my mom got married really young, too. But that was a lot more common for, like, Gen X and Boomers and stuff like that. I feel like from my generation onward, it became less common to have kids young. Granted, I feel most kids that I know of are just because, like, two people were, like, super fucking horny, and they're like, oh, it'll be fine, we don't need a condom tonight. I'm only ovulating a little bit. Just, like, just flip me over, the egg's on the other side. Yes, shave this egg on the other side. I mean, my friend and his wife just had their kid. I don't know, maybe it's just in nerd circles. I feel like, you know, the nerds and weebs and stuff tend to find love later, but also tend to mate for life. I don't know, I just don't feel like you're necessarily... I guess it varies from person to person, but I can't see making, like, permanent life-changing decisions in, like, my teens or 20s. Can you guys still hear me okay? I question parenting skills at 19. Okay, guys, still hear you. Okay, that's good. Sounds like my actual hell. Well, okay. LD, I'm saying this with the most possible amount of love. What I know of your parents, you are absolutely correct to question what their parenting skills would have been like at 19. I question their parenting skills now. Said this before, it's like, don't start saving up for your kids' college, start saving up for their therapy. Okay. Why would you be all the way down there? That's terrible. Okay, let's scramble him real quick. Let's scramble his guts. Oh yeah, they're terrible, but they did their best, I suppose. Did they, though? I go out on a limb and say most people don't become someone who'd be a good parent until their 60s, and even then only for short periods of time, just keeping their child alive. Well, I mean, I think for a lot of people, it just takes them a long time to learn empathy and understanding. Because those are really the key points to being a good parent, a good partner, anything. Because I don't know where it comes from, but there seems to be this, like, long-running idea that a lot of people that I've encountered have, especially people in parenting or leadership roles, is that there's this running idea that for some reason, if somebody has a need that they have enough concern to bring up, it's to deceive them. And, like, first of all, if you're with a kid, they're probably not trying to pull a fast one on you if they're, like, fucking 7 or some shit. I'm having a hard time conceptualizing exactly where I am here. Mop. Oh, okay, wait. I am in the Entei zone, I think. Okay. Route 35. Okay. I mean, to be fair, I think it also depends on the person. I'm turning 30, but don't think I could have a kid because I struggle with taking care of myself. I always have a parental instinct. Well, again, like, when you actually have the kid in front of you, that does change you a lot, though. And you start being able to shift your priorities. Also, hi, Small Fox. How are you doing today on this lovely Tuesday evening? We're Entei hunting. And at the same time, working on leveling up our Haunter Mellow Cream. Like, I know I wouldn't be deserving of raising a child where I'm at, but all things considered, I'm much more emotionally developed than basically everybody in my offline life. Yeah. Might disconnect. Are you having trouble with your internet, Small Fox? Oh, Wi-Fi. Yeah, I was having really bad problems with my internet, like, last week. A lot. The jiggly. But I appreciate you dropping by either way. I hope your internet issues can get cleared up. 'Cause I know it's like, it's a nightmare, especially when you're a streamer and your internet's cutting out all the time. It sucks so hard. Get licked. Let's make sure he's still here. I should have bought some repels, damn it. Oh well. We will manage. We always manage to run into him every single time when we're trying not to find him. I feel bad even saying my parents weren't the greatest. Oop. Feel bad saying my parents weren't the greatest, definitely not because of gaslighting or anything, but like, it's true, they aren't bad people, they're just kind of not the best people. Well, I mean, that's the thing, is like, just because somebody's not like abusing their kids or not like, you know, committing evil crimes or anything, that doesn't make them a worthwhile person or a good person. It's kind of the same thing as like, you know, like, oh, it's been so hot. Well, yeah, well, it's 105 in Texas. You know, it's like, yeah, sure, even if it is 105 in Texas, it's still pretty fucking hot wherever I am. I could raise a cat or a dog decently, but kids are a whole different skill set once they aren't a baby. Never been around babies. Also didn't help with that. The gaslight comment was sarcasm. I was definitely gaslit to shocking extents. I'm not surprised. I mean, LD, once again, saying this is love, but your lead and most core OC to your heart, also is a god among gods who could control everything, but seems to be incredibly depressed and living a very miserable existence. Affectionate. I mean, I love the director, don't get me wrong, but I feel like a person's mentality, ideals, and a lot of self-reflection shows up in their primary OCs. Wi-Fi keeps cutting out. I'm sorry, Small Fox. One running thing I see with a lot of my friends that is super weird to me is, like, spending the first half of their existence mired in, like, religious guilt for things that are, like, kind of not really all that bad or anything. You mean to tell me I'm actually a fox detective that can use yo-yos as weapons? Yeah. You didn't know? I figured the ears would be a dead giveaway. That also reminds me, like, I have a special affinity for any cartoon character that, like, they have ears, and then they'll put on a hat, and the ears will just be through the hat somehow. But there's, like, no holes in the hat or anything. Entei, where are you? Where can you be? Fuck, you moved. Why would you do that? That is rude. Okay. OC Angel's a pretty telling character. I bounce between fixating on them and director at any time. How do you know there aren't any holes? You're a cop? Are you a cop? No, but I am an expert on holes. Probably Shia LaBeouf's best movie. Okay, can you yo-yo IRL? That's the real question. I mean, honestly, the fourth Indiana Jones movie was, it was a lot better than I think it gets a reputation for, but it just doesn't feel like an Indiana Jones movie. It felt like a modern for the time movie that happened to be about Indiana Jones. I feel like most of the Indiana Jones follow-ups, games and movie-wise, haven't really gotten the vibe that it's supposed to be based on those old 1930s action serials. And they don't quite understand how the vibe of that is supposed to work. Action cereal, it's delicious. Yeah, usually when I say yo to people, I say yo back. You're fired. Action cereal, when you need to kick butt to start your day. Okay, there was this cereal that was really fucking amazing called Wheaties Fuel, and it had like fucking 100% of every vitamin and mineral. That's not an exaggeration. And I would eat like an entire bowl of that in the morning, and I would feel like amazing. Why would you be all the way up there? Vitamin A through Z. Yep, I didn't even have to stay at a hotel. Dang, he got those yo-yo skills. Hi, Alan. Hello, it's me, Alan. Mox, are you raising your Pokemon properly? I read in a book that you should raise any Pokemon you catch with love and care. By the way, a wild hoot escaped on me yesterday. A computational error on my part. See you later. gotta bait him out, which I am fortunately a master of. Okay, so if you're down there, if I go back, should hop up here. Fuck. Okay, wait. Okay, does this screen transition actually move him? Yes, it does. Definitely need to get into drawing so I can have Trick hit the Sonic Adventure 2 pose. Yes. You definitely need to do that. Oh, oh my gosh. I am gonna have it out with this dog, cat, lion, tiger. Tiger! Draw, says me struggling to right now. You have to project your draw desires onto everybody. Lion, tiger, bear. Oh my. Let's see where you are right now. South of Violet. Right beside Violet. But when I exit there, you'll be in a different place, so gotta play the prediction game. Violet, Gen 9 mention. Any Frigibax enjoyers in chat? Any fans of Bramblegast? Okay, wait. I'll fridge your back. That's cold. I shall gather all the drawing energy from the planet and heat it with it for you to have inspiration to draw. Everybody raise your hands up, share your energy with LD. She can draw her cool, hot, sexy, depressed people. I'll beam it straight into my eyeballs. When I need that Entei, need him to show up in this little patch of grass that's exactly 4 Mikaeas wide. So special draw cannon. Oh, turn on my little space heater because my tootsies are cold. Whoopa. Okay, Entei's still here. Oh, there we go. Okay, now, do Haunter outspeed at level 34. Yes. Fuck. Well, that was a whole lot of build-up for like 3 seconds of action. This must be what a straight woman feels like on her honeymoon. Father! Piccolo did have the coolest techniques, for sure. Honestly, like, a personal favorite is Hellzone Grenade. It even has a cool name! No, in general, the Android 17 versus Piccolo fight is one of my, like, top 5 Dragon Ball battles, just in general. Okay, wait. Let's think here. Let's go back to Violet and see if they sell repels at the Violet store. I'm gonna have to deal with these roaming guys in a Legends Johto game. I mean, maybe, but I feel like in a Legends game, the Piccolo and Lazuli blowing each other's backs out. So you know someone's a real Dragon Ball nerd if they're referring to the androids by the names that Toriyama never actually has them call each other in the manga. I mean, you do blow in a Piccolo, it's true. But you have X speeds and X attacks, but not repels. Okay, let's check where he is. Just be stinkier. I can't. I've tried, but I am clean mouse. Like, I really do have a little bit of, like... What the fuck? All the way over there? Well, fuck you. I'm just going to Goldenrod, then. I'm gonna fly to Goldenrod. You know, I, like, really kind of do have... I don't think I'd call it OCD, but, like, I cannot stand not feeling clean. Like, I can't even properly go to bed if I haven't had at least one shower. Aha! These regular repels, though. Really thought the supermarket had super repels, but I guess not. Could also carry on some stinky cheese. The problem is I would eat it all before I find Entei. You know, I don't want max repel. That's too expensive for too little output. I don't know. I've almost never bought repels before in a Pokemon game. Maybe a critique? The cheese is for a friend. Straight up cheese in it. Bro, what even is this? Okay, maybe Cyan would. I'm impressed by my friend's DBG trivia when I asked what was Gohan's fellow student's name. Like, oh, you aren't counting Videl, and it should be Sharpener or Erasa. And they just looked at me like, how? I mean, I feel like it's pretty common to know Sharpener and Erasa. No, wait, that's right. Hi, Rain. How are you doing today on this lovely Tuesday? We're hunting for Entei. We're trying to get Dad to come back home because he's been buying milk for years now. We're off to milk somebody's dad. Aha! I don't need 11. 5 should be fine. That's what I thought. Oh, am I too quiet? Is that better? I had my heater going, so I turned down the input, I guess, on my mic. Because I didn't want my heater to come up on the microphone, but I guess I turned it down a little too far. That and I was messing with the settings at the beginning of the stream when I couldn't get my mic to work. Which, like, it wasn't not working. It was just an OBS setting. Oh my god. Okay. Dad's home, literally at my house. Well, I mentioned it earlier. Yeah, do be a butt for no reason sometimes. I mentioned it earlier, but when I was gonna start stream a little bit ago, before I started, OBS just opened like infinity versions of itself simultaneously, and I had to restart my computer to get it to stop. Hey, Stantler. I actually used the Stantler in a recent playthrough of Silver on my 3DS. Infinite OBS glitch, like, actually, though. Now, where is Entei right now? Back at home. Okay. Okay, still over at my house. Great big lion guy trying to steal my mom, too. I mean, he did in the movie, right? I know, that's what I'm worried about. But honestly, I am glad with the later generations of Pokemon, they moved away from the mom just being like a stay-at-home mom with no personality. Because, like, in Gen 4, your mom was, like, a contest champion and stuff. In Generation 6, she's, like, a Rhyhorn racer. When can I be a stay-at-home mom with no personality? I mean, I half joke, but I am definitely the person in a relationship who would do the cooking and cleaning and housekeeping. I would very much be the stay-at-home wifey with who just draws and streams. Ooh, angry. Where's my representation of stay-at-home dad? Cole, homie, in these games you're lucky if you get the representation of a dad. at home, probably. Yeah. Ooh. Father figures and figure out where your father went. It's funny me walking in and out of town and just like, you know, everybody in my neighborhood's just like, oh, Mats is back. Oh, she left again. Oh, Mats is back. Oh, she left again. All the way over there? Ooh, angry. Dad home for so long, but as soon as you approach, he bolted. Story of my life. In a way. Like, I feel so bad for anybody who used the Master Ball on, like, something incidental like Lugia or Ho-Oh, and, like, having to do this 3 times, I cannot even imagine. I mean, I can, because I've actually done it in Gold and Silver the first time they came out. I didn't even use the Master Ball on anything, I was just ardently refusing to use it. I didn't even have Haunter. I was just outspeeding them with like a level fucking 65 Butterfree with Sleep Powder. Finished the demo for Pokemon Peach earlier today, and I ravenously need the full game to come out. It's Dot time. She's back. Give it like an hour. At least an hour and a half, maybe. Criminal. Crime is the way I fly to you. See, I'm actually wearing 2 layers right now, so I'm not being clawed to death. She's still biscuiting. It's just so much depth. Ooh. I'm like an onion. Stinky. No, not Stinky. Hello, Dot. Being an animaliac makes me cry. Well, that part I can't help. Listen, sometimes somebody's so beautiful that you just cry looking at them. Or sometimes you cry being near somebody because they think Axe body spray is the same as a shower. Worst part of growing up. Yeah. Wait, it's not. And for some reason, it's always Axe. Mods, give them a proper shower. Pro tip, wear excessive amounts of Axe as a human repellent. Maybe that's what's in the cans of Repel. Okay. It is so funny to me, those old Axe body spray commercials that would, you know, have, like, whatever guy, and you put the Axe body spray on, and all the girls just be, like, magnetized toward him or whatever. And it's like, that's literally the opposite effect that wearing Axe body spray will have on the women around you. Because even if you're not stinky, it's just like, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It has become synonymous with the kind of person you're not going to want to be around. Even though I think there are a lot of people who wear it innocently because they do want to smell nice. Older brother went through a phase like that for a few months as a teen, so I was spared outside of the occasional locker room incidents. With coconut products. Only time an Axe will attract a girl is being held by a buff woman. And my Axe. The reason the OG lesbian flag had an axe. I am getting a little fed up with this big old fluffy lion guy. And then there's the new lesbian flag they're working on, which will have a lemur and a wolf. And even then, people will say that they're just friends. This is some riveting gameplay, you guys. They love each other like sisters. Don't know how people could be so dense, but... maybe we're kind of getting somewhere. Hi, Gusty. How are you doing today on this lovely Tuesday evening? And for some random game trivia, I actually have a really cool one I just learned earlier this morning. Lemur and a wolf, is there significance to those animals? Cole, do you not read the IDW comics? Okay, so for the random game trivia, the Konami splash screen logo actually has a different color on 16-bit consoles depending on which console it's on. The Super Nintendo will have a pink one. The Sega Genesis has a green one, the little laser beam that goes along before the logo comes down. And the TurboGrafx 16 has a blue one. You know, it's a little laser beam that starts at the top of the screen and then hits the bottom and goes balloon when it shows the Konami logo. Yeah, it's such a wonderful little attention to detail, and it's actually like, I've never noticed it before until it was pointed out in the SNES Drunk video, and it is so neat. I love the attention to detail. Okay, so I'm right there. Entei's on the other side. Okie dokie. I think I first noticed it on the TurboGrafx 16 games on the Virtual Console. You know, weirdly, I don't think I have any Konami TurboGrafx games on any of my Virtual Console purchases. No, wait, that... Actually, yeah, that is true, because I was going to say I have Rondo of Blood, but I only have it on PSP and PS4 in the two collections. I don't actually have the emulated Japanese version that they released on the Wii. Though it was really weird and a little bit funny that with Wii games that were released on Virtual Console that weren't from your region originally, for some strange reason they charged an extra $1 as like an import fee, and I'm like, bitch, this is a digital file. You ain't having to import shit. The menu swapping is making me a little woozy. I had it on audio only. Oh, I'm not, give me a sec here. Sorry, I apologize about that. Be able to read chat, so that's fine. I wasn't really thinking about it because I was barely looking at the screen myself. I apologize if anyone was watching this on, like, a 75-inch TV or something. Also, Kubi, if you're watching me on the TV app, hi, how you doing? Hope everything went okay today. Doing alright, wanted to do a lot more for Miyabi, but then I procrastinated and drew a meme instead. Wii's a great place to play. It supports 240p. Honestly, that's one of the best things with Virtual Console, is like, it really is the closest that official emulation can come to just playing the original thing. Make some health potion tea. Okay. Hi, potential Kubi. Gay sex. I gotta do it with the Smash Brothers voice. Gay sex. You know, I use my TV as my monitor so I can watch you on TV. I mean, I'm also using my TV as my main computer monitor, so... Hi, Wade. Good evening, Mots. It's me, Wade. Are you awake? How are your Pokemon doing? My Pokemon have so much energy, too much energy to burn. It gets to be a problem. Of all my Pokemon, Caterpie's the hardest to handle. Working with it is exhausting. Oh yeah, a wild Bellsprout got away from me at the last second. I know it's a common Pokemon. Does it annoy anybody that it got away? It does annoy me that it got away when I almost had it. See you later. Okay. Don't believe I have epilepsy, it's just light sensitivity. Again, I apologize, Maddie. I'm not doing the going back and forth between a place with, like, the hard transition like that anymore. I'm just kind of playing it regularly. I'm still opening the Pokédex a lot, but I'm not doing the thing where it flashes like that. Again, I apologize. I was not even really thinking about it when I was doing that. Fox and wolf, gay sex. Okay. I mean, they definitely do have that, rival sexual tension. I can protect my own peace. I know. Oh, this fucking lion. Yeah, just checking in to see how things are going. I'm really tired. A little bit of spring cleaning for the axolotl tank. The axolotl baby doing okay? And I mean, you do have a right to be tired. I think it's like, what, somewhere around 1 a.m. for you right now? Little guy. She's finally happy as ever. She's fine, happy as ever in her own space. That's good. Yes, send pictures of the baby. I'm like having to play the game with one hand because Dot has flopped over across my leg, arm, and chest. Oh, I'm getting very tired of this dog lion thing. Did look at the starter fan evos you sent, which has been forgetting over and over to respond. That is a thing. It happens. That's why I sometimes will just react with a heart or something to a message, because, like, sometimes that is easier when I cannot think to reply. Sometimes you want to read messages, but you just don't want to say anything in return. That is a truly neurodivergent experience, but yes. Entei, please. Okay, wait, I think I know where I need to go to do this, actually. Also, I realize this doesn't quite come out as well on backlit digital screens, but you have to realize, like, the reason that the older Pokemon games just have a bright white battle background is because, well, Red and Blue were made to be played on, like, a regular original brick Game Boy. And even the Game Boy Color, even though it had full color, was still not a backlit screen, so it was done for the visual clarity at the time. Because this was a game originally meant to be played on, like, a 2-inch backlit, or not backlit screen, so a little flashbang at 9 p.m. splashing and banging. Oh, I wish there was an easier way to track this. Down there? All the way down there? Why would you do that? Trying to play Mario Kart on my 2DS. I think my A button's like half dead, so I keep stopping and going. I'm gonna crowdfund you a new 2DS at some point. Huh? Smoochum, why is she so mad? Can't play Mario Kart 7, no. Sometimes a girl comes out the womb swinging. It reminds me, like, my mom actually told me that the first thing that I ever did after being born was punch my biological sperm donor. And the second thing I ever did after being born was just immediately start nursing. So my mom actually said to me, like, the first minute of your life was violence followed immediately by boobs. You were born to draw anime. I had a nickname for the smoochum in my head, and it completely left my brain. She is very cool. Many times, but it keeps being true. Yeah. She shall be named Swiss Roll, since her mom was named Star Crunch. Go ahead and heal up our cuties since we're here. I was named after cheese, so I was just born to be cheesy. Maybe that's why we get along so well. Never heard any stories of me as a baby. Only that I was the easiest birth out of me and my brothers. Wow, even the day you were born, you're like, oh, I'm gonna try not to cause any problems. Oh, how times change. I mean, I feel like the ones who are all like shyly, they're trying not to cause problems as kids, will definitely grow up to cause the maximum amount of problems available. I named it Star Kiss, not Star Crunch. God damn it. Oh well, you still get to be a Swiss roll. Life over. Day ruined. Damn it. Sorry. Don't call the day police on me. Welcome back, Rain. We hatched a smoochum. Also, I was a little sad, 7th, that you didn't get to see Bon Bon evolve yesterday, because I remember you mentioning that Dugong is one of your favorite Pokemon. We actually had to, like, bend over backwards to freaking get Seal, because it only appears in the day in Crystal, despite being available morning, noon, and night in Bon Bon Evolve. Despite being available any time of day in Gold and Silver, it's only available in the daytime in Crystal. Don't let anyone ruin your day. It's your day. Ruin it yourself. Funny, because I also think I was very mousy when I was younger and did become a bit of a whole, then back to mellowing out. Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of people who are more mellow but strong-willed kind of go through a little bit of an a-hole phase when they're in their teens and early 20s, kind of trying to math out how to be assertive and stand up for yourself without being a jerkosaurus about it. Went from sweet, quiet kid to bitter, quiet teen to savory, quiet adult. Wait a minute. Hey, yo. Okay. Wait a minute. Shit, I forgot to use the repel. Repels are just one of those things I almost never use in a Pokemon game, like the X items. I used to be a massive stickler for the rules, but I'm a bit more of an anarchist. If I think a rule fucking sucks, get rid of it. Well, I feel like it's really easy to become a rules stickler when you're neurodivergent, because you get, like, a set idea of how things are supposed to work. But then you realize that a lot of... Okay, for the thing is, it's nuance of why this rule exists. Does this rule exist because it's a good thing that people should follow for their safety and well-being? Like, you know, for example, don't murder. Don't run into traffic. Those are good rules to follow. But some rules only specifically exist to serve the wealthy and stuff like that, to try to keep people who aren't them in check. So those rules can just get ignored. Entei, can you please? Because the way repels work, they'll stop any encounters unless the Pokemon is at a higher level than your lead Pokemon. Just love Mellow Cream at the front. Teen years just suck. Why does anyone do that? Right? It's so weird because I feel like when you're a kid, you kind of have some degree of getting stuff together when you get to like 10 or 11. But I feel like, you know, being a teenager is the part of your life when you're like the least capable of anything. You know, as far as like, I'm trying to think how to describe it. You know, like decision making, emotional maturity, emotional intelligence. Also, rules that are taken by their exact wording, not the spirit of the rule, and finding loopholes to basically ignore said rule. I don't know what I was like as a kid. Oh, I'm sure you were super cool and fun. If we would have been kids the same age together, LD, I think we would have hung out, and we would have had, like, I would have shared my Sonic the Hedgehog coloring book with you. We could color together. I'd let you color Tails. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. There's the Papa. There we go. Hell yeah. I just mostly didn't like people messing with my friends, and I had this beef with a kid so much he kept fucking over my friends and being a snob about it, so I punched him. Looking back, I could have dealt with it better, because I think people ended up getting a negative stigma about me aside from a bit of people. I understand. It's also really difficult to keep your emotions stable when you're around that age. Especially on someone who's screwing around with your friends. It's like, I definitely eventually grew to be somebody who's like, you know, you make fun of me and I'll just laugh it off or ignore you. But if you start shit-talking my friends, then buy yourself a fucking calendar because your days are numbered. Okay. Balls time. What could be more right for a big daddy than heavy balls? I feel like I have a few tiny snapshots from when I was a kid. Some feelings, things didn't start to get clear until the past couple years. Someone shit-talked in front of me, so where would you like your grave? God damn it. Okay, so we've got him down in the red. Let's go ahead and save. We have him down in the red. So that means that all we have to do is find him and use hypnosis. I am a little annoyed we only got one Pokeball throw, but at least we got him down into the red. I actually have a lot of very vivid memories as a kid. I still remember a nightmare I had when I was 2 years old. I remember being maybe more than 1 year old, but definitely under 2, sitting on my mom's lap in the apartment that she lived in, well, sitting on her leg, having her bouncing me up and down a little bit, and just us looking out the window together. One of my most clear memories up until my mid-teen years was being 4 in preschool, overhearing a girl making fun of her little brother playing with girls' toys and not understanding the problem. It is always, like... Having, like, patriarchal gender ideals enforced is always depressing, but it gets, like, double depressing when girls are doing it, too. It's like, do not reinforce the system that is actively hurting you. I mean, it actively hurts everybody, but... About, like, a 1 to 2-year-old, right? I mean, that makes it even worse. The fact that their parents instilled that kind of weird toxicity to them from that young of an age. Manual fireball at the system. Didn't help that kid lived across the road from me, so when I brought up my problems to my counselor, she'd say, keep it at home, and TBH, she wasn't a great counselor because my family... When a family friend died, I tried to talk to her and she said, you shouldn't let that bother you. What the fuck? She was proud of it too. She was basically presenting to the whole class. Favorite saying, just Molotovs and guillotines. Sure, she's better now. That was a Prisk 22 years ago. I hope so. Granted, like, I'm not gonna hold anybody as... I'm not gonna hold what somebody says as, like, a tiny little kid against them. But I kind of will hold it against their parents. Where did you say they live? I just want to talk. You see, this is why in, like, Ruby and Sapphire and Diamond or Pearl or whatever, the ones that only have one roaming Pokemon, it's just, that's just the thing I use my Master Ball on. Why do presumably school counselors act like that? I mean, I don't particularly think they actually care that much. A lot of times, I feel like people in a school counseling position aren't people who particularly want that position. They just kind of get assigned it. Because, like, even back when I was in school, you know, over 20 years ago, even back then, like, the staff was being stretched so thin, and every teacher had to do, like, 2 or 3 jobs. I was in high school, so it's way over at this point, yeah. But... yeah, schools are grossly underfunded. And I know because my mom worked as a teacher for 16 years. Middle school, a school counselor said to my mom that I had an evil stare. I made a fade ooh noise. What the fuck? And you don't have an evil stare, you just have a neutral stare. Do I? No. It's even funnier considering you're like one of the like chillest and most relaxed people. As far as just, like, being approachable. An evil stare, more like brain 2 thinking hard about Pokemon to focus on anything kind of stare. Wasn't that as a teen? I know, I was there. Feels like people calling Gen Z rude when they don't want to deal with customers is such very obvious bullshit. Customer service is such a weird thing, especially because, like, a lot of my jobs have been in the past. Because there are genuinely a lot of customers who are just super chill, especially if you just explain things to them. Like, it is weird how many problems can be solved in advance by just communicating. My brain is having a hard time calculating this for some reason. Okay, I'm in Monogamy Town. My senior counselor was a sweetheart, though. She'd see me and my friend out at the mall a few years later, graduating, and she'd go, I love that it's a friendship that lasts a lifetime. She's not wrong. Hey, yay! I'm glad about that, at least. That's wonderful. Okay, let's switch positions for Daddy. Why would you do that? The only customer service kind of job I miss is my custom framing job, but that was grossly underpaid and overworked, so I will never be returning. After switching schools, the counselor there was much better. Don't recall her really doing much, but it was inoffensive at least. Switch positions for Daddy, yeah. Yeah, I save all these VODs to YouTube, so it's gonna be there forever. In like 40 years, I will be referencing that I definitely did say this on the internet. You know, it really fucks me up that in 11 years, all of the Castlevania games will take place in the past. Because Dawn of Sorrow and Aria of Sorrow take place in... Well, Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow, excuse me, take place in 2035 and 2036. Which, like, they're probably one of the more accurate future game things, because they aren't that wildly different from... Being unbothered is the key to never having your words bite you. True. But I'd say, like, the Castlevania Sorrow games are probably some of the best at, you know, taking place, well, you know, it was like 30 years in the future when the games first came out. Because it's just kind of like what normal reality was like in the 2000s, but with some slightly more advanced tech. Dog named words, unless you want to be bitten, more power to you. I'm afraid of worms, Roxanne. Is anybody even gonna get that reference? The movie Roxanne is actually a modernized adaptation of the classic play Cyrano de Bergerac. Adapted to... It takes place in the late 80s, and it stars Steve Martin. It's a really good movie. Very quotable, too. Thought it was a Gen 3 gym leader. That, too. Okay. So I'm here in Violent City. How can a thing be two thing? Multitasking. Economy's so bad that the gym leader also has to work as a late 80s romantic comedy starring Steve Martin. Worms and plastic minnows. See, I grew up with a very particular media palette when I was very young, because it was mostly VHS tapes of stuff my mom liked, Saturday morning cartoons, and anything that had Sonic and Mario in it. So I had like cassette tapes for a bunch of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the 2006, I read this blah 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 when doing speed casting, yes. Why did I voluntarily choose this? Focus Dams, watch along of Sonic X win. Okay, but the Japanese version. Sonic and when are we getting together? Sonic, he's on the run. Sonic, he's got a gun. Sonic, he's having sex, so watch out for Sonic X. I'm sure those are the lyrics to the song. No, it's Shadow. Oh, you're right. I honestly love that, like, Sonic himself does not have any kind of backstory or explanation to him being able to do all the amazing stuff he does. He's just that guy. You're that guy. You're that guy. Okay, I am there. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I want you in my room, room, room. There's no room in my room for anybody else, only more plushies. Spend the night together. Bruh. Why would you do this? Wait, can I manipulate this to my advantage? Fortunately, due to being Arrow Ace, only more plushies are allowed in my room. Thank you for your understanding. I mean, I'm not Arrow Ace, but I do have ADHD, and I really need to actually, like, arrange things better. But the problem, really... Okay, I'm gonna fly around and scramble your guts again. The problem with ADHD, and this is actually a real thing, is that if things get set a particular way, can you do Flame Fist? She is pretty flaming sometimes. But no, the thing is, if things stay a particular way, your brain just registers that that's just how this thing looks now. That's why a lot of ADHD people are like, how can you live in all this clutter? But to that person that's not clutter, that's just what the room looks like. Which can make it difficult to pick up and clean stuff up because, like, you don't register that there's anything dirty or messed up. This is why writing physical notes and post-its and stuff does not work for someone with ADHD. Because sure, you'll put the post-it on their computer monitor or whatever, it will never be interacted with. It will stay on the part of the monitor you stuck it onto forever now, and it's just part of the monitor now. I mean, that's just one example, but... And it's like, I can overcome this, but it takes a lot of effort. Like, I have to, like, focus and, like, readjust my thought pattern about something. Every time I put something new in my room, I keep looking at it thinking, this will become part of my room. Just give it time, and it does. See, I gotta save up the flame for the ultimate dap up. That opportunity takes overcome ADHD is so fucking exhausting. It is. It's like, I've described, like, the overcoming the ADHD or executive dysfunction before, and I stand by it, is like trying to peel open a grilled cheese sandwich without tearing the bread. You can do it. It's possible. But the combination of effort, you have, like, the physical effort you have to put in, combined with how careful you have to be. Still have a Dragon Ball card stuck in my mirror. Which card is it? Because there's actually an old Super Saiyan Goku that has no text on it. Is it from the modern, like, Dragon Ball Super card game, or was it from the Score card game from the 2000s? Wait a minute. Okay, so I'm here. The romantic tension between the pile of various clothes on my computer chair I swap places with every time I want to use my computer. I know, it's funny because, like, one time my mom put a psychic energy card that she found on the floor, like old school Pokemon TCG, and she just put it in the bathroom mirror. And it has been in that same bathroom mirror for over 15 years at this point. And the funny part is, whenever I go to clean the mirror, like, I'll take the energy card out, set it someplace dry, clean the mirror, and when the mirror dries from, like, all the Windex or whatever, I will put it back, because that's just where it goes now. That is its house. Entei, why are you like this? I was gonna say, how the hell did I tolerate doing this on 2 AA batteries on a tiny little screen, but I probably didn't. I'm pretty sure I did this on Stadium too. Hi, Alan. Hello, it's me, Alan. I've studied quite a bit since then, and I've gotten a lot better. I'm hanging out on Route 36. Can you come down for a battle? See you later. Alright, let's go battle Alan. Take a break from daddy hunting. I waited around for you. I'm thoroughly prepared today. Zatu with the big shrug. Yo, what up? Uh-oh. Zatu in the Letterman jacket. With the eyeball titties. Wait, did Future Sight just fail? Oh, that's because he used it again from the move menu. I thought the actual Future Sight foreseen attack failed. Get licked. Bleh. Get bleh. Legit though, Ghost Poison is such a good defensive typing in Gold and Silver and Crystal. Because you fight so much like grass and stuff. Probably should not fight this Quagsire though. Doritu, it's been a while. Speckle defense. Get speckled. Get slammed. I love the little pink highlights in Meganium's antenna. Oh, computation error. Also, I know it's just me, but White Fox got shown for Marvel Rivals and she looks so cool. I mean, like, I don't really plan to ever play Marvel Rivals, but I do appreciate the character designs. I would love for some of the character designs to show up similar to that in, like, a new Marvel vs. Capcom or something. Because a lot of people were assuming when Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics released that we'd be getting some kind of news on something else Marvel vs. Capcom related. But with Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls and Sony pushing that, it's probably going to be a while before we see another Marvel Capcom fighting game, unfortunately. Granted, Capcom's promoting the hell out of Street Fighter 6 right now and it's still getting updates, so maybe that's one of those things that works for both parties. Because with Marvel Tokon, I like it in concept, and I mean, like, Arc System Works, anything they work on just ends up being cool as hell. I just feel like, for me, the characters and the gameplay just haven't really grabbed me in a really big way. Then again, my taste with fighting games tends to lean more toward older, like, sprite-based fighters and stuff. I'm not saying I don't like any modern fighting games or anything, I'm just saying, like... I think the biggest problem for me with modern fighting games is, like, it's a big time and money investment. And even if you do learn a character just due to updates and stuff, that can completely be pulled out from under you. Love to see these designs show up elsewhere. I'm excited because she's a strategist, so I'm never leaving that role. I mean, she's also a fox, so it's like mandatory that you play as her, right? Honestly, like, Sea King kind of looks cool with the blue body and red on its fins. It is so funny. Dot, like, she's been asleep on me for most of the stream. She woke up for like maybe half a minute, yawned, stretched, and then just got back into place, falling asleep on me. Everyone else can have Black Cat. I got my girl. Kind of contemplating how I want to approach this. Because I feel like I cannot get Entei to come to an area where I'm actually standing. Gonna head out and watch stuff with friends. Stay cute and nerdy. Oh, you know I will. You have a wonderful rest of your night, Cole. Thank you for dropping by and hanging out. We always appreciate you. I feel like the best place to do this is like right here on the border between Route 30 and 31. It's nice to hang out with you. Goobers. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh, also, I don't think I mentioned it, but I actually managed to snag a copy of, the new Rune Factory for $20 on clearance at Walmart. Give me a sec here. My brain is blanking on the name, but it's actually like right in Guardians of Azuma. It originally launched as a Switch and Switch 2 exclusive, and I think it was also on PC, but it recently released for PS5 and Series X. The version I got was just like regular, the default Switch version. Granted, if you do get the Switch 2 version of Guardians of Ozma, it actually does have the full game on the cartridge, and the cartridge is compatible with both Switch 1 and Switch 2. It's just kind of like the Xbox Smart Delivery, where it'll know which console it's in and just play the appropriate version for that console. But yeah, the cool thing with Guardians of Azuma is, in addition to it having a physical version, an actual physical and not a game key card for its Switch 2 edition, it also has an instruction manual, like a full-color little instruction manual included. I played for about 30 minutes just to kind of check it out and get the hang of the game and stuff. But in addition to all of that, it also has 30 game save slots. 30! That's so great. Like, dude, one of my biggest gripes about, like, games from, like, the PS3 and 360 onward is so many games for no reason have one save slot. And that's always been so weird to me, because, like, even games on the NES and Super Nintendo and stuff would have, like, at least 2 or 3. It also makes me super sad because, like, with the Xenoblade games, most of them do have multiple save slots, but the only one that doesn't is Xenoblade 2. Well, I don't think X does either, but that has a lot of online integration that the other ones don't. Okay, wait. Okay, so I'm there. Okay, I think we're on the same spot. Because Xenoblade 2 is the one I would want to replay the most. For both personal reasons and the fact that I know people complain about Xenoblade 2 having, like, the gacha system for the blades, but that's part of what makes it so replayable. The game really isn't intended for you to try to get every single blade ever every time you play through the game. It's something there to kind of, like, put a little bit of an element of... not exactly randomness, but, you know, just, like, make each playthrough a little bit distinct from each other. Honestly, it's not that dissimilar from how Pokemon does it. I am in the right spot, aren't I? Okay, yeah, that's the right spot. Come on, Entei. Oh, there you are. I just had to ask for him. Daddy wants me to beg for it. Get hypnosized. Fuck, no, wait, shit, fuck. Okay, where did he go? Okay. All the way over there? Come on, dude. Okay, back at it we go, I guess. So anyway, how are you guys doing tonight? I'm definitely not questioning life decisions. How about you? Hi, Dot. I'm... Wait. No, Dot, we do not walk up there. Also, I don't know why, but whenever Dot's not snuggling on me, she seems to want to walk to and sit on the TV stand lately, and I'm like, why? I love Persona 4 just as much as you, girly pop, but do not the television. Let's see if we can nip him over here. I wonder, does it have like a thing where he won't go back to the same area for a little while? If you like encounter him? You know, I'm realizing now that I probably did this on some of my other games, like, aside from maybe playing it on Stadium 2, I was probably, like, watching a movie or a TV show or something. Okay, come on. Behave yourself, Entei. Why don't you want to be right here in this area I'm standing in? Come on. Damn it. Okay, wait. We might be getting somewhere here. But I feel like if I go over there, he's gonna, like, warp down over here. Well, he did warp down. I guess I was right. I don't know. I feel like really favors this area down here. A part of me's half tempted to just go and train something, and because he always seems to show up when I'm trying to avoid him. Just like real dads. Hi, Arnie. Hey, hello, Arnie calling. Are you awake now, Mots? I'm always with my Venonat. It's so cute. I just love it. Changing the topic here, I saw this Abra for the first time. It was easy to beat, actually. Let's talk again, huh? Entei is me avoiding my responsibilities, and Makea is the responsibilities. You know, it's always such a drag. Like, why are responsibilities always, like, cleaning and maintenancing stuff? Why can't responsibilities be like, yo, you're responsible for fucking eating this Twix bar and watching 100 YouTube videos? You're responsible for this giant block of cheese and an unlimited amount of wheat thins and Triscuits. That sounds amazing. Capitalism sucks. Yeah, that's the reason. Let's see if I can get him to meet me in the middle here. You know, I've been doing this for 2 hours, and I have had literally 3 Entei encounters. We've mostly just been walking back and forth teasing him. So you're there. Any chance you wanted to stay here? No. So we're just gonna like dance around each other in these 2 little spots then? Maybe I should have seen Mario 64 today. You see, I promised Guru I would do this, and Homegirl is not even in the chat. Drawing a summoning circle for Guru. Probably really nice cars and buff men. You know what? Let's take a break from Entei hunting. Let's go to Goldenrod and do some daily stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and check the radio. Buena here. Today's password, let me think, it's X Attack. Summoning Guru noises. Summoning Guru noises. The noises of summoning Guru. Ah, the Guru summoning noises. Those noises to summon Guru. Hand wavy motions. Yes, today's password is... My name's still Mott, same as it was yesterday. It's X Attack! That's right, you did tune in. Oh yeah, I love Point. Let's go ahead and go over to Viridian and do our daily Cal battle. See, I'm hoping if I ignore Entei enough and do other stuff, he'll show up again. Hopping up and down on the magnet train. Doop doop doop. Shooby doop be dooby dooby. Okay, usually starts with Meganium, so let's go ahead and put Taki up front. I mean, if nothing else, the Cal battle is a great thing just for, like, quick, easy experience points and money. That basically infinitely replenishes once per day. Because I think I've mentioned this before, but with Gold, Silver, and Crystal, they actually use the IR blaster on top of the Game Boy Color. So you could actually have the two IR sensors on top of the cartridges interact with each other on the mystery gift menu, and both you and another player would get a random item. But it would have a few other effects too. Namely, the player, whenever you interacted with the last player you interacted with, their team and the name of their character would be the person you would fight here once per day in the Trainer Club. Nice to get the old squad out here. I feel like they haven't got a chance to stretch their legs in a while. This is one of those things I've always felt like is a little bit hard to kind of add to a playthrough, because the thing is, like, I feel like Pokemon in general as a series is probably the series that the most seamlessly integrates single player and multiplayer into its games. But the problem is, unless you have a dedicated friend group for a specific game, it's really hard to get the same experience that you did when the game was the current game, like, later on. Because, again, you know, I'm just having to battle the Cal as the default that you always fight. You know, with 3 starters. But, you know, like, if Gold, Silver, and Crystal were the popular games everyone was playing, then, you know, you'd have a lot of different instances of fighting your friend's team and stuff like that. I lost. Darn. You know, it's the same thing like with X and Y. You know, the PSS isn't going to be populated at all because 3DS Online's not available anymore. So little things like people just giving you, like, little cheers and stars and wishing you a happy birthday and stuff like that is just kind of not part of the game if you pick it up and play it now. I think that's another thing, like, with the 3DS in particular, the online for that getting turned off is even sadder than a lot of the other games. I can wish you a happy birthday if you want. Thank you, Maddie. But yeah, I think that's why. Happy birthday, yay! It's not my birthday for another 11 months or so, but yay! I guess it can be your birthday any day if you were born once. The club for top trainer battles. Wait, I was just there. Teehee. It's February somewhere. It can always be February in our hearts. This feels like it's the theming of some kind of nostalgic song from the early 2000s. It can always be February in our hearts. See a rail pass? Yes, it is a railin' time. Hopping up and down on the magnet train. Reel in our feelings about Groundhog Day. Let's go ahead and save. Entei check. I feel like Groundhog Day fell off. Nobody talks about Groundhog Day anymore. It kind of did, really. Yeah, like the holiday specifically. Yeah. I mean, I figured you probably meant that and not the Bill Murray movie. Let's see, How Much My Fritter Loved Me. Quite cute. Damn it, we're still in the quite cute zone. It's just like my chat. All of you are cute. Ooh. Womp. I mean, you're right, but I know I'm right. Let me put my apricorns away. I'll be honest, I still want to kind of play some more Crystal, but I really do not feel like doing any more Entei hunting right now. I promised I would do it on my next stream, and I did it, and if I stumble across him again, great, but right now I am just not in the mood. Play hard to get, I like it. Mood has been thrown into the stratosphere. Go ahead and grab that wit apricorn. The taste of delicious gay spiders. Then again, granted, I don't know if the legendary beasts are really meant to be hunted, or rather they were meant to be stumbled upon while you were doing other things. Last message of mine came off more flirty than I meant it. I mean, like, I feel like it's a neurodivergent slash gay standard to always slightly be flirting with your friends. I'm gonna be flirting on my own time. Okay. I don't think I've grabbed Kurt's balls for a while. Ooh. Wait, give me a sec. I'll be right back. Because, I mean, aside from Entei, I don't know if there's anything we really need to catch. Ho-Oh, I guess. Isn't the time and place, but I could get way flirtier if given the time. I know. I believe in you. Okay, so we got Firestone, Thunderstone, Waterstone, Moonstone. I'm gonna need to get, like, at least 2 Leaf Stones from Liz. I think the heavy ball's still pretty effective due to, like, Entei and Ho-Oh's, like, overall weight, so that's the one I'll go for now. Actually, I'm not really sure what else we have left much to do. As far as, like, dex completion and stuff goes. Oop. Take a look at that dex. Well, of course, we have Entei, Suicune. I don't remember what's between Miltank and Raikou. Oh, let's look at the dex entries. Smoochum. The sensitivity of its lips develops the most quickly. It uses them to try to identify unknown objects. Yeah, it is Blissey, that's right. It loves violent thunder. The space between its horns flickers bluish-white when it's charging energy. It naturally spits an 1100-degree flame. It's said that many appear when many appear, it heralds a volcanic eruption. Wait, the types are Kiss Pokemon? Electric Pokemon. Yeah. Live Coal Pokemon. Milk Cow. Hey, Harold. Harold loves his volcanic eruptions. Because we can't get Ho-Oh until we have the 3 legendary beasts. McCole's not here. Hitmontop. I'll have to see where my money is and stuff, because, like, with Hitmontop, with the Tyrogue, I'm basically going to have to give it a bunch of freaking vitamins. I think that's one of the trade evolutions between Donphan and Stantler. Donphan. King does a trade. Remoraid and Octillery aren't in Crystal. Porygon 2? I think so. Quillfish, that's Sizer between Quillfish and Shuckle. Steelix is a trade. Giraffrig's not in Crystal. Slowking's a trade. I think that's Politoed right there. Which, of course, is a trade. Mareep. I didn't even see a damn Mareep. Wow. Okay, of course, the starters I can't get right now. I guess we train Sour Patch, because that's Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres right there. Can't get the fossils without red and blue. Same with Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Hitmonchan, we gotta evolve one of our Tyrogues. With Execute, we're waiting for the Leaf Stone. Hitmon, Blissey, and Dragonite. Hitmonchan, yeah. Mankey's not in Crystal. Vileplume, we're waiting on the Leaf Stone. Oh yeah, I guess I could raise up a Jigglypuff, because I've got Moonstones now. Jiggle time! You need to go outside and claw some trees, kitten. Because your claws keep getting stuck in my clothes because they're not... Sorry, cat stuff. No, she keeps trying to crawl onto this side table I have near my desk that has like my PS1 and my Wii U gamepad on it. And I don't know why, because there's nothing over there interesting to her. She's building a treehouse on you. So yeah, we're just gonna have to buy a bunch of iron for Go-Gurt. Ninja Go-Gurt. Okay, Cerebi check. Let's see what moves I would want for my Puff of Jiggliness. Oh, Mallow's at level 43. Just a second. That's right, I forgot Mallow did a bunch of breeding. So we were trying to get Iggly buffs with a specific... something? Maybe I just forgot. I mean, the only level up move I'd really be concerned about is Body Slam that it would learn at 34, and she's already got Body Slam. Strong. So, yeah, Mallow, I guess you get to evolve into a Wigglytuff today. But first I'll let her have a couple battles as a Jigglypuff. Never do that. Haha, of course not. That was a quick training session. Really took it out of me, guys. I mean, it's already been over 2.5 hours of stream, so, you know. But we finally got our Jigglypuff up there. Give her the power of the freezing fists. We'll let her get one level up as a Jigglypuff, and then we'll go ahead and evolve her. Mallow can now cream you with her fists. Or her whole body. Imagine a full body creaming. A whole creme boucher. Somebody brings you a bunch of creams, that's a creme bouquet. Bless you. Dot hasn't been having as much problem with her congestion lately. That's her first sneeze pretty much all day. Pronounced like crocambouche. Really? Those certainly are words. Oh hey, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness is on the Nintendo Classic GameCube app today. It happened to pop up on Cerebi. It's like a stack of cream puffs drizzled in caramel, spun like silk. Silk mention? Hee 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 hee, gay smoochies. Yowie in my chat? Good. Dot has stopped doing a mischief and has once again returned to fall asleep on my lap. Imagine these emotes had an explosion sound effect on Entei. One tiny little checkaroo on Entei. Yeah, not even close by. Because I think in Diamond and Pearl, and I'm not exactly 100% sure, but I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver had something like this. But I'm pretty sure in Diamond and Pearl, you can just track the location of a roaming Pokemon on the bottom screen with a Poketch. And I don't remember exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure Heart Gold and Soul Silver had some kind of quality of life thing to make the roaming Pokemon less obnoxious. I kid you not, I ran from that Spinnerack because, like, I did it without even thinking, and my brain was just like, oh yeah, that's a poison type, I don't want to get hit with a super effective attack. It's like, you got about 13 years before you have to worry about that. It was the map app on the Diamond Pearl Platinum Poketch, and a map as well that showed it, yeah. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, yeah. Good evening, Mots. It's me, Wade. Are you awake? How are your Pokemon doing? My Pokemon have too much energy to burn. It gets to be a problem. Of all my Pokemon, Weedle's the hardest to handle. Working with it is exhausting. Oh yeah, we KO'd a wild Bellsprout with it one hit a while back. It went down so easily, I felt a little sorry for the poor thing. See you later! Like I said, he very clearly has Beedrills when we go fight him, so like it always makes me wonder if like some of the random trainers that are like not professional Pokemon trainers can't really tell like, oh Weedle, you got really tall and you got big wings. Wow. Yeah, that combined with the route gates not setting locations did a lot. 'Cause, yeah, they do reset them in Crystal, as you saw earlier, so. Like I said, I'm glad I only really have to track one, because we just threw the Master Ball at Raikou. And Suicune is, like, you know, part of the story, so. And it's like, while I do have an affection for the Apricorn Pokeballs, I really miss stuff like Quick Balls and... Should have used the Master Ball on that, I guess. Well, then I'd just be hunting Raikou right now. Then wed, only to have to chase our uncle. Dot is managing to lay across both my hands, and controllering is becoming mildly more difficult. You know apostrophes can't tame me. Weed God. I cannot help but think of the entire thing about this one guy trying to name his Persona character Weed Man. But because the game has you enter your name, like, in the Japanese format with the last name first, he would always end up getting it backward. But I think with 5, they actually switched it. Yeah, Manweed. With 5, they actually switched it for the English localization. He's like, oh, I'm ahead of the game now. And he still ended up being Manweed because 5 actually had it in the Western first name first thing. It's so funny. I even remember, like, the post where he's, like, putting in the name in Persona 5, and he's like, no, it's a screenshot of the name, and he's like, oh, they're not gonna get me this time. And then he, like, shows him being called Man, and he's like, no! When you want to smoke, but you're also insecure about your maleness. Honestly, Manweed sounds like it'd be, like, a freaking 60s era Batman villain. Like, definitely a character that would have only been in like 3 comics and then would have brought back to be a mainstay specifically in the Brave and the Bold cartoon, which had a really good Wii beat-em-up developed by Way Forward. Okay, I'm pretty sure Persona 5 at least says first and last underneath the line. Weed 'em up. Oh, weed 'em up. That's just Animal Crossing when you haven't touched your town for like 2 weeks. Okay, Mallow, it is time. Become Wiggly. Oh my gosh, the animation, that is so perfect. Homegirl got catastrophic levels of booty shake. Let's go ahead and do her a victory lap battle now that she's a Wigglytuff. We didn't have first and last. I don't remember that then. You were like psychically projecting. Wigglytuff doesn't have the white over its mouth here. Clean shaven. Yeah, you're right. I always thought its mouth was above the tummy white. Am I having a Mandela effect right now? No, you're right. On all the official art and everything, the mouth is in the white space. Wow. Well, I happen to have my phone right here on my desk, so I looked at it, but yeah. Thanks, like, if you had asked me to draw a Wigglytuff from memory right now, I would have definitely put its mouth over the white. Also, Wigglytuff is one of those Pokemon that I feel like got a little screwed over. Well, not Wigglytuff specifically, but Igglybuff. Got a little bit screwed over by name localization. Because, like, Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff make sense, but they had nothing for Igglybuff. They just pulled out funny sounds. Because in Japanese, Jigglypuff's name is Purin, which means, like, pudding. And Wigglytuff's name is Poopurin. And so, Igglybuff's name is Poo. Like from Earthbound. Could have just been Igglyuff. Yeah. That probably would have been better. Maybe they thought that didn't roll properly. Yo, Mallow and Moonpie can hang out as Moonstone sisters. But it's a ball. I mean, Pooh from Earthbound has a completely shaven head aside from one piece of hair, just like Igglybuff. One Piece? It's real. It's the name of the treasure on the Grand Line. Oop. See, I guess we'll go ahead and work on Sour Patch and start leveling him up to Dragonite. Alrighty, or her up, I'm sorry. Don't give it up, Iggly. Dreamin', don't give it up, Wiggly. It is... I don't know how to feel about how much of that song actually just lives rent-free in my head. Snake. Snifa, snifa. Let's do one last Entei check. Look, you know, let's walk out to some grass and then do an Entei check. First there's sour, then there's sauce. Yeah, that is nowhere even close to my location. Okay. I'm a little sad we didn't catch Entei today, but hey, I promised I would go hunt Entei on the next stream, and I did. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. I know it was a little bit of a shorter stream. I started later than I meant to and all that, but just do it now. I'll just run around hunting Entei off stream and then just immediately start stream as soon as I find him. Thank you so much, guys, for coming by, hanging out with me. I feel like this was a little bit like of a less entertaining stream than usual. I apologize. But still, thank you so much for hanging out and stopping by and all that stuff. You know, I always appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm going to go get something yummy to eat and, I don't know, probably listen to some YouTube videos. But you guys take it easy. Have a good one. And I should be back on Thursday, hopefully. Bye.